Hi guys, today we are working on my 2020 Ragley Big. Gonna be working on the fork. I'm gonna change the fork. This is a 140 millimeter RockShox Recon. It's an okay fork. It's a very entry-level RockShox. It's an air fork, but I feel like the first part of its travel is kind of sticky. I tried different settings with the compression, the rebound, increase the air pressure, decrease the sag, and I still don't feel confident enough for the bike. So today we're gonna upgrade this RockShox Recon. We're gonna be upgrading the RockShox Recon with this Bomber C1. I was really looking for the red one, but it was sold out pretty much everywhere. I got this from the lostco.com. It's a bike shop. Like I said, this is a Bomber Z1, 36 millimeter stanchions, and this one has 150 millimeters of travel as opposed to the 140. Has 150 mils of travel with a 51 millimeter offset. This has a grip 2 damper, or the grip damper that you find on some of the Fox forks. So we're gonna install it on my Big Al. Again guys, I'm not an expert bike mechanic. Take everything I do with a grain of salt. I try my best, and I do take responsibility for my own bikes. If you do this modifications at home, make sure you consult with your bike shop if you're not sure or confident on what you're working on. With the new fork, I'm also installing a bigger brake in the front. I'm going with 203 millimeter Shimano disc brake. I do have the Shimano MT4000s, I believe, on that bike. And the post mount for that, it's 180 mil. This is an adapter that takes you from 180 to a 203. Shimano adapter, this is the part number. So I'll be trying this out, and this is a Shimano SMRT66. Okay. This is compatible with both resin and metal pads. It's important to keep in mind if you only have resin or metal disc, and it's a 6-bolt. To begin the process, it's simple. You want to remove the bar with the stem attached. So you're gonna loosen these up, loosen the top. Just get your bar off. Before you do this, you wanna undo your brake. You wanna do the brakes, undo your brake, and secure it somewhere in the bike. Don't leave it hanging. And loosen these up. And they were really tight. This is 4 millimeter. The top one is going to be a 5 millimeter. Okay, this is where you want to be careful, because your fork is just going to drop as soon as you're done with this. So make sure you're holding it, or you have something in place to catch the fork. she comes. This is where having the right tools comes in handy, guys. I do not have a crown race remover. A lot of headsets from Nook Proof and other brands have a crown race with a slit, so it just sits there. You don't have to pound it in there. This one does not. So I have to remove this one because the fork, the bomber doesn't come with a crown race. So I have to remove this one. There's a tool to remove this stuff, but it's pricey and I don't see it. I will use it that often. So I'm gonna use my method. Don't be afraid to grease, guys. I know it's messy, but it's a necessary step. Greasing is very important. Okay, again, I don't have the tool for setting the crown race, so I'm not sure if y'all want to watch this, but I'll be right back. This is not something you guys want to do. Okay, this is how I do it. Doesn't mean that's how you're gonna do it. If you don't have the crown race installer, just go to your local bike shop and they'll be more than happy to help you. This is how I've been doing it and it worked for me. Full disclaimer, do not try this at home, guys. There's a pedal wrench we discussed in the last video, and it works for me. Crown race is installed all the way in. Just gotta be careful not to touch this. I taped it up to get over the teeth, and I don't put it all the way in and tap, and that pushes it all the way in. Okay, let's do smooth, and we take more grease, grease it up. This is what comes in contact with your bearings, so you want to have a good amount of grease on it. All right, guys. Okay, I already installed the crown race, bearings in there. Now set your spacers. If you're thinking of reusing this fork in another bike, cut the steering tube a little longer, because a lot of this head tube vary from bike to bike. So if you cut it too short, too custom for this bike, you might not be able to use this fork in any other bike. So I'm adding an extra spacer right here. Your height is measured by these two. These are extra. You don't want to be riding with something like this either. But if you want to reuse this fork for something else, another project, don't cut it too short. Or if you ever want to resell it, having a longer steering tube helps with some of that resale value. Okay, guys? So I'm just gonna mark it, and then we'll go ahead and cut it and install the star nut. Okay? It's been marked right there, and I'll make my cut right there. Like I said before, try to get a bigger cutter. I bought this one. It's a good brand, but it's a little small, so it's kind of hard to turn it. So you want to set up right on the line. I'll get with you guys in a little bit. Let me find the mark.
Once you find your mark, you turn it. You turn it a couple of times. Okay, then you turn it some more. Sorry for the angle, guys. I'm using my GoPro chest mount. I know you don't get the best view, but it's all I got. You turn it some more. You can also do this on a bench with a saw guide. I've been thinking of buying one of those, but for now this is what I got, and this is what I'm using. Here she comes.
That was that. You wanna take a file and file some of that stuff away. I've seen everybody use a tool for this. I can't find it. If anybody knows what it is, just let me know in the comments, please. For the inside part, I do not know what they use. Okay, so the crown brace installer. 3 parts. This is attached to this, so there's nothing to it. This goes into your steering tube. It has a stopper right there. So you take this part, put it right here. There's a little lip in there. You guys can see it. It goes in here as such, and it stops. So that's in there. All right. And take your trusty hammer. What's this? And there it is. Install start nut. It's in there. Secure. Right? Make sure you do this something soft, guys. Do not do it on the floor. You don't want to mess up your rebound or air intake. Okay? So now to the bike. Again, guys, grease is your friend. My spacers. Handlebar. The 5mm. Okay, and it should move freely. And just check, make sure you got your wires right. There's this one's fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna install the brake caliper with the new disc going on the bike. Okay, I'll be right back. When you guys are putting your rotors in, be mindful of rotation, okay? So you see brakes always go opposite to drivetrain. So when you look at the bike from this side, you're rotating forward. So there's your rotation right here. I'll show you that way. Rotation, yeah. be mindful of that. You don't want to put your rotors the wrong way. Okay. There's another thing you have to torque to spec. I do have my torque wrench hand tight for now, and I'll get the wrench right now and torque them to spec. They always taught me that crisscross, so it settles even. You don't want to go around. Okay. So that's a rotor. And so we're gonna take the adapter and go put in the brake caliper. Okay. Like this, supply bolts and those washers. Run your brakes through the inside of your brake line so it has less chance of snagging something outside. Okay. I put it in. I replace the adapter on there. Let's see if it's gonna fit. Fit it in. Take this out. Later on, I'm gonna grease the axle. I always grease your axle. Yeah, I love this quick release, man. This is where this hex wrenches come in, the little ones. This is the lowest they go on the Husky. So for the cable tie, we need a 2.5. If you're smart, you'll give yourself some space by removing the tire. But I am hard-headed, so only got it. I need to overtake this. Okay. Cable tie. Good. Set up the brakes. I'll show you how to do that real quick. In this corking, just remove this. We need the 5mm again. So for this, all you do is loosen it up a little bit. So it's this. Take this, put it on your desk. Go ahead and it goes through. You just slightly apply some pressure. Don't press it all the way. Apply some pressure and tighten it. Your brakes. Let it go. Retreat. Easy as pie, guys. No rub, no issues. Literally took seconds. I know you're in the shadows, sorry, but simple too, cheap. Well, there she is, guys. She's finished. New fork install. The Bomber C1 by MARZOCCHI. 150 millimeters of travel, 51 millimeter offset. I got the chance to ride it down the street. Big difference from the Recon, a RockShox. So there it is, something you can do at home, guys. Took like 40 minutes to complete. Not a long project. You can do it real quick. I do have some purple spacers coming to replace the green ones and a different stem. The original Ragley stem. But other than that, I think she's pretty much done. I'll do a bike check coming up on this bike again. I have some upgrades since the last time, but other than maybe changing the chain ring and the spacers and the stem, I think she's pretty much done. Very capable bike. Thank you, guys.